Hey guys, Wayback Rewind here. I'm here today with my Panasonic FZ300 advanced point and shoot camera. I bought this camera brand new back in 2015, but it's still sold today brand new from Panasonic. I'm going to find out why that is. Coming up next, here on Wayback Rewind. My extra battery. Let's see, I see two batteries. What is this? Strap, tripod. I don't see a charger anywhere. I don't see my lenses. I don't see half the shit I was supposed to have. There's a charger in there. There's a lens hood. Strap. Lens cap. Weird kind of proprietary little thing. And a battery. So do I need an extra charger? Probably not. The thing that I missed that I really needed was the memory card. Me on the memory card. Oh, I really needed that memory card. Okay, welcome back to the present day. So here we are 8 years later. The Lumix FZ300 by Panasonic. This camera is still sold brand new by Panasonic. So what's the deal with that? Somehow I managed to keep up with the battery and the instruction manual and all of this obsolete software. So I still have this. Not sure what it's good for. So anyway, so what is this camera anyway? It's a advanced point and shoot. Advanced point and shoot cameras are kind of become obsolete as camcorders, and here's why. Compact point and shoot cameras are obsolete. These have all been pretty much replaced by cell phones. On the high end, you have mirrorless and digital SLRs, of which this is neither. This is actually a film camera that I'm using as a prop because I don't actually own a mirrorless or a digital SLR. This is a regular film SLR actually, but today professionals are still using digital SLRs and mirrorless cameras on the high end. On the low end, people have abandoned point and shoot cameras for their cell phones. And in the middle, we have this camera, which is kind of known as a bridge camera because it kind of bridges these two gaps. It's also known as an advanced point and shoot. It's also kind of known as a super zoom, because these cameras have very small sensors, which gives them crazy zoom capability. This is a 24x. Reason why It can go from 25 to 600 millimeters equivalent. It's a crazy zoom ratio. But this camera looks like an SLR, has the design styling of an SLR, but it's not an SLR. It is literally a point and shoot camera that looks like an SLR. But when I turn it on, this camera's been powered down for so long. This camera's acting like every other camera that you turn on after a long time. Okay, so the FZ300. One of the things that I really liked about this camera, the reason I bought it, I was in the market for a camcorder. In 2015, camcorders were already on their way out. And I bought this camera because it was one of the first point-and-shoot cameras to have 4K capability. Now, it does not have unlimited 4K. It does not have unlimited video of any kind. It actually will stop after 30 minutes, but that's really not a big deal. 30 minutes is plenty long enough to get done what you need to do. Unless you want to put it on a tripod and shoot for hours, you're usually going to be in pretty good shape. Okay, so I want to demonstrate the super zoom. I said these cameras are sometimes called super zoom cameras. That's kind of a crazy amount of zoom that this camera has. When you crank it out there, it's almost comical how much zoom this camera has. But it can do 600, and it can actually do double that with digital out to 1200. It's a crazy amount. And the screen, by 2015 standards, is a really nice screen. Fully articulating, and it is a touch screen. There's no memory card in here, so let me get a memory card. So in the unboxing video, I was complaining about not having my memory card. I did get everything that was missing replaced by the shipper, so it did have a happy ending. But one of the inconvenient things about this camera is where the battery and memory card go. This camera does have weather sealing, so you open this door, there's an O-ring on here. It keeps everything dry, which is nice, but if you've got this mounted on a tripod, there's no way to get to the memory card without removing it. You have to remove this, and there's a proprietary battery under here. There is no way to plug in this camera while it's operating. There's no USB charging. That's one of the things that distinguishes this from newer cameras. It has this little proprietary port on here, which is kind of annoying. Instead of a normal USB, it has this little micro HDMI, which is fairly standard, but this proprietary connector, the cable did come with it. I still have it, I believe, but that is an annoyance. This is that little proprietary cable that you saw me unbox. I managed to keep up with it all these years because literally there's no other way, there's no other cable that's going to plug into this jack. It's got this little proprietary thing that goes in there for some stupid reason. So that little proprietary cable goes in there all to give you USB on this end, which is ridiculous. Why they couldn't just put a USB cable and connector on there is anyone's guess. So that's one of the things that's not so nice here in the present day compared to when this camera came out. People were a little more tolerant of proprietary connectors, and now depending on where you live, it's illegal to put anything on there that's not USB-C. The fact that there's nowhere to plug it in and give it power while it's recording, and you have to remove it from the tripod to put that battery in there and change the memory card. So that's kind of annoying. So that being said, it does have a relatively sharp and bright screen by today's standards even. You can come in here, you can take a picture, take another picture, take a bunch of pictures, take a bunch of pictures, snap, snap, snap. To play back, I've got a playback button here. I hit play. Now I can see the pictures that I just took. What's nice about this camera, it is very versatile in terms of how you can do things. I've got a rotary knob up here. It has all sorts of functions. That rotary knob can be turned You can see it's advancing the numbers there. The pictures are all very similar, so it's hard to see that pictures are changing. Let me do that differently so you can see it better. I'm going to snap one over here, snap one over there, snap one there, snap one here, come in closer, come out farther, snap, snap, snap. I'll snap them over there. So now when I hit playback, those look different. So I can turn the rotary knob. You can see that the pictures are changing. So I've got that. I've got another little rotary knob over here. I turn that rotary knob also will advance the pictures. And then finally, since this is a touchscreen, I can do this. Now mind you, this was 2015. High resolution touchscreens were still a novelty. This was a very advanced feature to have on this camera at this time. And to have all of these programmable buttons. You've got a function button here, function button 2, function 2. You got function 3, function 4. A lot of different function buttons on here, which is very useful. Not to mention a built-in flash. Many of the Micro Four Thirds interchangeable cameras may have a flash or may not. That's something that they kind of get stingy with. But to be a point and shoot camera, a lot of capabilities here. When I want to shoot video, there's a dedicated video button right here. Push that. And the flashing dot tells me I'm recording video. Depending on what displays I want, I can turn those displays off or on. The displays look very similar to the camcorder this era, to the camcorders now for that matter. I've got some function buttons on here. Function 6, function 7 on here, and function 5 for Wi-Fi. You can see it's counting up the time on the clip there. It's telling me I can't shoot a picture while it's recording video. Some of the same limitations on this camera as on the camcorder. Stop the video. Now I can take as many pictures as I want. So I've got exposure compensation. Again, I've got all sorts of knobs, things that I can do. This camera can shoot RAW, which is kind of cool. Quality can be RAW. I like to be able to do exposure compensation on the fly. Up here I've got my shooting modes. 4K 30. 4K 30, it's not as good as 4K 60, but 4K 30 was pretty sporty for back in the era when this camera came out. Even now, there's a lot of cameras that can't shoot 4K 30. On the still side, I'd always want to shoot in the highest resolution. I can get all the way up to 12 megapixels of the maximum sensor size, but that's a 4:3 crop. Not really big on 4:3 crop. But you can, if you want the maximum number of pixels, it's going to be 12 megapixels in a 4:3 crop. If you come over here to 16:9, the largest you're going to get is 9 megapixels. So that's a little bit of a bummer. By today's standards, 9 megapixel stills is kind of weak. You would expect more than that today from a camera of this quality. That said, this camera was a $600 camera when it first came out. It's still about $450 today, sold brand new. At $450, I think it's a bargain. At $450, this is a great bargain. This is a very nice camera for $450, especially if you're out there shopping for a 4K camcorder. You're not going to touch a 4K camcorder for under double the price of this. So for half price of a 4K camcorder, you can get a camera that shoots 4K 30. It takes 9 megapixel stills in the same format.
So at this point in the video, I've been talking for a long time, and I know a lot of you just want to see the video of how this camera shoots. I bought this primarily as a video camera, so I'm going to focus on the videos that I took with it and give you some sample footage right now instead of making you come back and wait for a second video of sample footage. So I'm going to share that with you right now, and then when that's over, I'll wrap it up here on Wayback Rewind.
I first sneezed at Devil's Tower. The Banff River. Actually, I have no idea what it's called. We'll call it the Banff River
For now. Until we figure out what its actual name is.
Probably owned by this guy at the end of the street. And the Banff Mountains in the distance. And the little touristy town of Banff. We'll call Banff Town. It's some random lake. Probably cold glacier water in there.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't want to get in it at the moment.
That snow is like right there at ground level. How's that even possible?
Altitude.
But I mean, right there.
I know, but the altitude we're at right now, I believe is good enough for snow.
I don't know how you can have snow in the middle of summer. We are at Kluan Lake. Whitefish is easier to say. Yukon. Looks like you could climb up that one. The mighty Yukon, draining towards the Bering Sea. And there's the world-famous Alaska pipeline.
With some spellings call it the Alyeska Pal.
I think that was the name of the company that built it. I don't know.
Either that or
Alyeska. I don't know.
Maybe an American name. Either way, it's the Alaska pipe.
So when it expands and contracts, it doesn't burst. Oh, welcome to the Dolphins and the Frosties. Starting to get into Arctic tundra, only about 15 miles from the Arctic Circle. It feels cold enough to snow here. I don't believe your thermometer. All right, let's do the Bureau of Land Management a favor. Let's start making a line.
Doing the what? Doing the what a favor?
Let's start making a line.
Like one of those large clouds.
So there you have it. The Panasonic Lumix FZ300 advanced point and shoot bridge camera. The ridiculously long zoom lens. Still sold brand new here in the present day for about 2/3 of what it originally cost. They really don't have anything else in this price range from Panasonic, which is why they're still selling it today. Half the price of a camcorder if you're shooting 4K 30 video. If you need 4K 60, you're going to have to go up to a higher quality, higher priced camera. No camera under $1,000 can shoot 4K 60 that I'm aware of. 4K 30 is good enough, 30p. This could be your camera. If you found this helpful, please like or subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.